Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Today, I want to talk to you about Biden's estate tax change proposals. I have an update. Before I do that though, I want to remind you, if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. Okay, so if you didn't know, if you're not that interested in estate planning or estate taxes or capital gains taxes or dying or anything else related to estate planning like I am, then you may not have noticed that this year, the new president, President Joe Biden, had some proposed change. Actually, it was other senators. It wasn't Joe Biden specifically. Had some proposed changes to the estate tax rules that were going to make some pretty big, have a big effect on the way that a lot of people did a lot of things. The first thing that was proposed was to reduce the current estate tax exemption, federal estate tax exemption, from $11.7 million per person down to like $6 million per person. And you know, if your net worth is not that high, then you might not care that much. But that's important to some people. Important if you're planning on making some money in the future, potentially. The other thing that was proposed, amongst other things, was some changes to capital gains taxes and the way that property is treated at death. Today, right now, when it comes to tax basis, which is basically what you bought your property for originally, whether it's a stock, a piece of real estate, your tax basis is what you originally paid for it. When you die and you give your property to someone, they get what's called a step up in basis. So they get to take as a tax basis the current value of the property. One of the proposals in the legislation was to eliminate this step up in basis. Another one of the proposals was to create a scenario where when someone died, capital gains taxes would be due on the property at that time. So they were going to just like double punch you in the face, basically. And that, I have news about that. I just was Googling around today, so I don't have any, it's not as if I'm reporting live from the White House. But I was Googling around because I was curious about where things were going. People were experiencing a certain amount of stress and anxiety about these things, as people are wont to do. And I wanted to see what was going on. And it turns out that, you know, if you've been watching the news or just reading the headlines, which is really what I do, you see that the Democrats are having some trouble getting their legislation through. I think it's the House right now. Some serious problems. And part of the problem is that not everybody, even in the Democratic Party, is on board with the proposed legislation. So they're continually having to revise it, to take things out mostly, to lower some of the thresholds that they had proposed originally. And I was wondering if some of those changes had included changes to these estate tax proposals. And lo and behold, they have. Basically, all of those things that we've been talking about just now, in addition to some other rules related to grantor trusts, which you just don't have to worry about, they're gone. So they are just not there anymore. Now, does that mean that they are gone for good? It does not. Does that mean that they might be gone for good? It does. It definitely means that they are not in the current bills being proposed sort of to the House to be voted on and things like that. Sometimes they'll add them in at the end. Sometimes they will like tack some things on to some other spending bills. They'll do some other things. But for now, all of the proposed changes that you've been hearing about for this past year are gone. So there are no immediate changes to anything related to estate planning or probate or estate taxes currently before Congress. Again, that does not mean that they won't get sucked in or they won't get sort of snuck in last minute. But right now, when you hear all this talk about the Democrats trying to pass a spending bill or some whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. I should probably pay more attention. I only pay attention to this kind of stuff. It's just not in there. So rest easy for now. If that changes, I will get on here and I'll talk to you about it. But for now, it looks like things might at least have a decent chance of staying the same through at least the rest of this year and possibly through the next legislative session. So that is your update for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this, or hopefully this made sense. If it did, that's great. Maybe hit the like button. If you have questions or comments about any of this kind of stuff, leave me them. I will answer them. If you know someone needs to hear this, please share it with them. And if you are someplace that you can subscribe and you don't want to miss future episodes or future videos or content or podcasts, then hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. All right, that is it for today. As always, I am Christopher Small. I am the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning. We do probate. We do it well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.